Hello, and thank you for joining us. I'm Dylan McKim. A now former state senator is looking to become the state's top money man, the person who collects your tax dollars. But to do that, he first needed to do a little political maneuvering. Republican Kelly Hancock was sworn in as the new chief clerk in the Comptroller's office. As State Capitol reporter Adam Schwager reports, the move could give Hancock an edge in the upcoming election to determine the next Comptroller.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it, buddy.
There's a new Comptroller in town, at least in a couple of weeks.
A big day for this agency to make sure that as we are moving forward, this agency is in somebody's hands who is honest, who is trustworthy.
In March, the Texas A&M Board of Regents decided Hagar would take over as their chancellor, creating an impending vacancy for Comptroller. However, an Attorney General ruling from 2002 prevents a sitting state lawmaker like Hancock from being directly appointed to a position like Comptroller. So instead, Hancock was sworn in as chief clerk, so he's not an active senator when Hagar officially leaves on July 1st.
I'm chief clerk today because of the same way that everybody else takes a job. There's an opening, I was asked to fill it. I signed a bunch of paperwork just like everybody else that takes on a new job, and so I'm looking forward to my new job.
Hancock will now run as the incumbent in 2026 as he enters into a three-way Republican primary. Railroad Commissioner Christy Craddock is looking to take the seat after spending over a dozen years in her current role.
I would say the agency I'm in is the most important. It's the one who brings the money in, and we're going to go figure out how to spend the money on the next end.
And former state senator Don Huffines, who ran against Greg Abbott in the 2022 Republican gubernatorial primary, is also seeking the office.
I'm going to doge the state of Texas. And I tell you, if you want to doge Texas, it starts and ends in the comptroller's position. We're going to root out fraud, waste, and abuse and get great transparency.
Abbott has already weighed in, endorsing Hancock's minutes after his appointment while taking a shot at Huffines' state Senate loss. Comptroller primary takes place next spring.
You to repeat after me.
For State of Texas, I'm Adam Schwager.
We want to go a little deeper with the soon-to-be interim Comptroller. Here's some more from Adam's interview with Kelly Hancock.
All right, thanks for taking the time to chat with us today. I don't know what I should call you, state senator, comptroller, clerk, kind of that waiting period. I guess just to start off, right, you're also announcing your candidacy for comptroller for 2026 as part of today. Can you just give your elevator pitch to the people of Texas as to why they should vote for you next year?
Sure, well, because I am them. I actually, you asked about titles. I go by Kelly, is what I like. I'm still the guy that shops at Walmart, and I'm a small business owner. Sure, I've served as a school board member for 13 years, served in the legislature, but that's not who I am. I'm just a guy that grew up, married my high school sweetheart, went to college together, have 3 kids, 6 grandkids that are most important things in my life. But I love Texas, and this is a great, great state, and we are on a hot streak, and I want to continue to do that. I've served and really want to serve in the Comptroller's office as well.
One of the big issues the comptroller will have to tackle in this interim period is education savings accounts being passed on to that office. How do you best plan to approach that issue?
Well, I think that's why my 13 years on school board, I just have some experience that nobody else in the race has. 13 years on school board, served on the Finance Committee for 10 years, worked on Article 3, which is the education part of the budget, and then I was on the Legislative Budget Board. And so it is crucial. And because of my love for kids and making sure that every child gets to achieve their dream, education is how we do that. And so that is part of the reason that we're moving so quickly in doing this, because we've got to get that done. We've got to get it ready to roll. And learn from other states. And we're not the first one to do this. And so I'm excited about it. We've got a great team over there, which is why the legislature and the governor has that education savings account over in the comptroller's office. So we're excited and ready to go.
So one of the interesting things with this, not appointment, but hiring is, right, that 2002 Attorney General advisory kind of stating that current sitting lawmakers can't be appointed to positions that require Senate confirmation. Can you explain a little bit about the process that you're undergoing and when you resigned to be a state senator and how you're all working to make sure everything's above board?
Sure, not only above board, but transparent. And so it's pretty simple. I resigned from the Senate on the 18th. I filled out a job application. There was an opening. And so I would say, I'm chief clerk today because of the same way that everybody else takes a job. There's an opening, I was asked to fill it. Comptroller Hager and I are good friends. We've known each other for a long time. And so that's the way we wanted to go about it. And so that's where we are is right now. I filled out a job application. I was hired. I signed a bunch of paperwork just like everybody else that takes on a new job. And so I'm looking forward to my new job.
One follow-up to that is, people are saying the Texas Constitution about when someone resigns their position, they're supposed to kind of officially do those job duties until their replacement is duly appointed or duly sworn in. What happens in the event that there's a special session before your Senate seat can be given out to someone else?
Sure. Well, I'm pretty adept at multitasking. I've run a small business. I actually started the business when I first ran for office. So I've run a small business. I've been a husband, a father, a dad, which is what my grandkids call me. And so I'm used to multitasking. And if that happens and we have to do that, I'm still part of the community. Like I said, I'm still going to church with a small church in North Texas and shopping and do the same things everybody else does. So I'll continue to do my job.
So far, no Democrats have launched a campaign for Comptroller. Candidates have until early December to file to be on the ballot. The Texas primary will be on March 3rd next year.